Hello, welcome to the Opportunity Zone Meetup. This is the July 20, not July, I'm jumped ahead already. This is the June 20th session, and tonight's program we're going to focus on offering documents within the scope of Opportunity Zones. This is a meetup that is put on by me and my consulting company, which is Capital Coaching Services, working to design, stage, and manage capital campaigns. As of right now, I am a principal in at least one venture that is in the process of putting together an Opportunity Zone campaign. I'm talking with several others. I've been asked to advise on a new fund coming together, a multi-asset fund in New Mexico, and that's in process. So again, lots of things are in motion. But very few things have been completed. So everything we're doing is kind of a live, interactive type of a viewpoint. And the goal is here of this particular meetup is to answer questions, share information, and do it at the project management level so that any of you who are either an investor or a project manager or maybe working with a project may be able to get a better insight as to how this all works and how to do it best. This is a little bit more about myself, which talks about my background. It's been primarily in new business, new product and economic development. And a lot of that has done with raising capital. And due to the fact I would do a lot with startups, high tech, things that are a little bit different, work with all types of capital. And Jeff, one of the things, don't let me forget, is there's a program called Rural LISC, which may provide the acquisition capital you need for a rural property because you're in a community of under 20,000 people. And I'm in the process of trying to verify that they are everything they say they are in their program. We're also sponsored by, this is one of the projects I belong to, is the Sugar Beet District Project. This is a 50-acre mixed-use development that is planned for Fort Collins, Colorado. It's intended to have a combination of indoor grow facilities for different types of plants and vegetables, a 90-room hotel, a spa, a variety of retail space, and workforce housing, a little bit of everything, all designed together in a live, work, play. So this is an optimum place to go to work, but it's also an optimum place to live. And we're in the stage right now of acquiring property. We're putting proposals out, negotiating with the current landowners. As soon as that's done, our goal is to raise approximately $8.5 million for completion of land and engineering. And then we've already talked to a number of groups about horizontal development. The individual tenants will be responsible for their own buildings that have to be built to our specifications to conform with our overall design. So these two groups are acting as sponsors. Any of you who are interested in being a sponsor of this group, just contact me later. That brings us to our projects and our showcases for tonight. We're going to be talking about opportunity zones. For those who are not familiar, this is a federal law that was passed in late 2017, that created tax incentives to take capital gains that ordinarily might have gone somewhere else and to incentivize their direction into economically distressed communities, ones that are ranked lower on income and economic activity. Here in the state of Colorado, we have 126 different zones that are scattered across the state, both urban and rural areas. And a number of these communities are taking advantage of this to not only try to catch up with everybody else, but potentially to get ahead and to plan their economic future going forward. We won't get into the details of the actual incentives tonight. That's something we've been over several times, but if you have a question about that or how it applies to something you're doing, just raise a question. So at this point, what we do is we invite anyone who's doing an Opportunity Zone fund or a project or planning a potential project to come to the program here, put on a 5-minute overview of what their particular project is all about. This is to call attention to the program to help find resources or partners for that particular project or fund. And when this is videotaped, this will go up on YouTube, so you'll get some national presence there. Those who do the showcase, we not only blend it into our overall format, but the presenter is giving a standalone video file that they can use for their own purposes in promotion and whatever they're doing. So at this time, our one showcase for tonight is the one that we talked about earlier. Jeff with J&J Property Management Group will be doing a presentation at this time.
Okay, good evening. My name is Jeff Skaman. I'm with J&J Property Management Group, LLC. We have recently put a property under contract. We're going to try to redevelop this. This is the Brush Prison Redevelopment Project located in Brush, Colorado, which is about an hour northwest of Denver on Highway 76. It's right off the interstate. This is an Opportunity Zone investment. This is an overview of the project. This is an aerial view, obviously. This is the prison here on the left side. We've got a 70-car parking lot right here, the main complex. There are 3 wings, which used to be used for prisoner cells and things. And then this is all common areas. There's a gym here, cafeteria, offices, and the kitchen right in this area. This is an overview of the property. You've got Interstate 76 here, and this is Colorado Avenue, I believe, in Brush, Colorado. The prison is right here. It's 3 blocks off the interchange. Prime location. You can actually see it from the highway. The property has 57,800 square feet, and we purchased it for about $21 a square foot. In order to replace this building and build it new today, it would be over $200 a square foot. So we think it's a lot of opportunity. Formerly used as a prison, of course. It's located within 90 miles of Denver. We think it could be used as a data center, cold storage, biotech, warehouse, marijuana hemp extraction facility, any number of different uses this property could be used for. And again, since our purchase price is so low, we think we can make money on it based on that spread in value. The facility itself, the address is 901 Industrial Park Road in Brush, Colorado. Some features, it's located on 6 acres, plus or minus 57,800 square feet. It's concrete construction, reinforced concrete. We're talking 8-inch solid concrete floors, solid walls, and solid ceiling, all concrete. It has a full-size gymnasium, a commercial kitchen with equipment. You can feed 300 people. Security fenced perimeter, digital surveillance system, central access control room on the 2nd floor. That would be right in this area here. This is where they control the entire prison from. And then the building is fully sprinklered. It's got flexible space, meaning inside we can knock down walls. It's not structurally going to affect anything, so it's very easy to reconfigure the space. It's got a loading dock, 70-car parking lot. It's got 1 acre of land to the east side of the prison for expansion, if necessary, probably 1.5 acres there at least. And then the building has been winterized and very well maintained since it closed down in 2010. Here's some interior photographs. This is the workshop right here. This area here, they'd have classes in here, and they would do, machining, things like that when the prison was operational. Here's the other view of the workshop. Back in this area right here was an auto shop. They'd pull cars in there and teach them how to work on cars. And then, I don't know what these are. They're just some kind of concrete pylon sticking up. But basically, it's an awesome facility. Again, easily configurable into any number of uses. This is the atrium area. This is the 2nd floor. You take the staircase up. These are medical offices and counselor offices here. And then back in this corner, you can't see it, but is the central command control of the entire facility. And then here's a gymnasium. This is a full-size gym, 24-foot ceilings, official size, and it's in really good condition. Blueprints of the building. We're not going to spend a lot of time on this, but basically, this is the gym over here. This is the main area that I showed you initially. The entrance is right here. This is a hardened entry, by the way. There's a man trap, meaning you can lock people in here. Nobody gets in or out without access control. We've got the kitchen here, cafeteria. This is the kitchen, this is the cafeteria, and then again, the 3 wings. And this is a loading dock right over here. Brush, Colorado. I'm not going to read all of this, but basically Brush is a very pro-growth city right now. They're very active, involved in economic development, and they want to see anything happening in their town, new business-wise. So the City of Brush appears to be bending over backwards to help us with this project. We are working with Greg Thomason, the Economic Development Director of Morgan County, on this project. He's assisting us with utilities and investors as well, and possibly some lease space. Demographics, not going to spend a lot of time. Brush is not a huge town, but within 5 miles you got 3,000 households. What we like about this facility is the location is basically 1 hour outside of Denver. It's up I-76 on a main interstate. There's very little traffic, and within 1 hour of Denver makes sense for most companies. They want to be within 90 minutes of an airport, and we're well within that range. So, financial analysis. If we leased out 8,500 square feet at an average market rent in Brush of $15 a square foot, this is gross income for the year, $127,500. The mortgage payment, assuming $10 a square foot for build out of that space, plus our purchase price, $77,000 on the mortgage, taxes $15,000, insurance projecting $20,000, common area maintenance $12,000, for a total of $124,320. If we leased it out at 8,500 square feet at $15 a square foot, the building cash flows. The thing is, though, there's another 50,000 square feet left over that we can do whatever we want with, so the numbers make sense. Another scenario is if we leased out the whole facility at $10 a square foot, it's $500,000 a year in income. Your mortgage would be a little bit higher because you're borrowing more money and you've got to do tenant build out. Add up your taxes, insurance, common area maintenance, and $15,000 in reserves. Total of $203,000. You'd still net $296,000 a year at $10 a square foot if you leased out 50,000 square feet. So that being said, this building, in my opinion, makes sense. There's a lot of opportunity here, and we're going to try to make it happen. For the investment side, the Brush Prison Complex offers a rare opportunity to redevelop an excellent industrial complex into any number of new uses. We've got a very low acquisition cost. As I stated, we're at about 10 cents on the dollar of the actual value to build this building new today. And we're going to capitalize on that spread in value. The scope of the project can range from $2 million for a simple conversion, let's call it office space, $10 a foot. You convert the whole thing to office space and lease it out, or classrooms. There'd be about a $2 million project. It could go up to $10 million if you want to do a data center or complex industrial use like hemp facility, cold storage, that kind of thing. We're going to have to spend some money to bring it up to that level of rent and features, but we can certainly do that. And then J&J Property Management Group, it's our company. We're seeking an equity partner to assist with the redevelopment of the prison into a new use income-producing property. We're offering a 10% equity stake for $150,000, or we're seeking $2 to $10 million through an opportunity zone fund or equity financing to take the project to its full capacity. Contact information, that's me on the left, Jeff Skaman. I've got 30 years real estate experience. I've done development, construction, sales, commercial, appraisal, assessment. I've done about everything you can do to real estate. Got a lot of experience, and I see this as a huge opportunity. My business partner, Jamal Gibbs over here on the right, he's again a broker with Remax Structure, and he's actively selling and purchasing investment properties. He's done fix and flips, multifamily, and land development. He's currently pursuing opportunity zone projects with myself and with J&J Property Management Group. And that's the end of the show. Are there any questions? Okay, thank you very much for your time.
Before we close for this evening, I want to go into resources. These are things that might help you work on your opportunity zone projects. There are a number we've been working with for a long time, but I've added a couple new ones that I think you'll find of value. And the first of these is the State of Colorado Office of Economic Development, International Trade. Jana Persky runs this program, and they are working very, very hard in the state of Colorado, and they were a leader in getting out there in front of opportunity zones. And they have a matchmaking page here where if you have a project or a fund, it actually doesn't have to be an opportunity zone project. Any project the state of Colorado qualifies, but it's focused on opportunity zones. You can go there and list it. And you have to be careful in what kind of information you use, because it's supposed to be informative, like a slide deck, gain their attention. It's not supposed to be closing the deal. Another place to go to is an interactive map of Colorado opportunity zones. They have one at the state site, but they were doing some rehab on it recently, and it was not working the way I wanted. I haven't been back in time to see it. But Ross Hare with OzColorado.com has created his own site. He's pulling a lot of the information from a national level, and he's supplementing that information with other information, which is useful if you're looking at trying to figure out where you fit into a particular zone. Hit that twice, my apologies. Go back one. As I mentioned, we record going all the way back to the second week of November. This is our 15, 16, 17, somewhere in there, event of this group. And we've recorded all of these. They're all up on YouTube. A few months ago, we started breaking them into parts so that you didn't have to watch for the full 2 hours and go from there. And it makes it easier to find it, but those recordings are all there for you to watch anytime. Just last week, a gentleman set up a new Opportunity Zone group on Facebook. There are several of us signed up. We'll see how this does, but it's similar to the purpose of this meetup group, which is to share information on Opportunity Zone projects. This is at a national level, so you may be able to find some information there that we don't have locally. There's a newsletter put out by the Medora Ventures group called OzGuide. This is like a newsletter. They work very hard to go out and find projects and news items about opportunity zones. And you can go to this site and subscribe for free. And if you want to track this in more detail. And again, this slide deck, we'll try to get this out to you. Actually, I'll try to do it late tonight because I'm going to be out of town for the next few days, so you can just pull these URLs from the slide deck directly. And the images will be in there to make it that much more interesting. Finally, this is me. This is our meetup group. I also have been building a bit of a library of articles and different things and opportunity zones on my business website. And you can always reach out to me by email or by phone if you have any questions or anything's coming up. We're getting lots of good questions coming from people that are new or first time through this, and if we have an answer, we're happy to share it. And with Nate's availability this summer, we've got the ability to chase some of the harder questions and give you more detailed answers, or more detailed, we don't know what's happening on that issue, kind of a thing. So that covers the extra resources for tonight. So thank you all for coming, and look forward to each of you having a successful Opportunity Zone project.